In the northwestern suburbs of Brisbane lay a vacant plot of land that has great historical significance to Brisbane in the 1800s. By the latter half of the 1800s, it was apparent the South Pine River region had valuable timber reserves of red cedar, eucalyptus, and pine. This timber was extracted, floated downstream to Brisbane, where it was milled and used in construction. As the logging industry moved in, the need for a school in the area grew. So, in April of 1873, the Queensland Government announced a 10-acre piece of land to be set aside as a school site. By June of 1874, a 2,180-acre forested area in the parish of Bunya was announced as a timber reserve for the use of railway sleepers and bridge girders in the surrounding areas. Then, by the 24th of February 1874, a new school committee was formed and a tender was selected to build a schoolhouse 30 feet long by 16 feet wide for a total of £438. And with that, 1 year later, on the 25th of January 1875, the Bunya School opened. So today, we take a look around this old school site and piece back together its history.
All right, here we go again. I'm at the Old Bunya School site here in Bunya, just outside of Brisbane, about 15-20 minutes out of Brisbane. And I'm gonna go and have a bit of a walk around here today and show you guys this old school site. So I'm kneeling down here in the front of the head teacher's house. So the head teacher here at the Old Bunya School used to live on site. So that's the slab of the front entry. All right, so I'm standing on the location of where the front veranda was for the school building. All this here, this is the area of where the schoolhouse was. Now for 90 years, there was a school building just here, and now this is pretty much the remnants of it. Now this is only a short walk from where the school building was. So just back there, 5 meters or so. I don't know what this concrete slab was for, so if anyone watching this video knows what this is for, this is right near the tennis court as well. But I'm pretty sure all this wood come from the schoolhouse. However, the concrete slab, in my research, I couldn't find why this concrete slab was here. So it seems like the schoolhouse extended to here, along here, and there's that concrete slab. So I'm thinking this concrete slab could have been for a water tank. Seeing it's in close proximity to where the schoolhouse was, which is just in front of us there. I see all the bits of wood sticking out of the grass. Originally, they used to get the water from Bergen Creek, just down there. It was about 150 yards away. And they used to cart it up to the schoolhouse, which we'll go and have a look at in a moment. But I'm thinking this was the site of where the water tanks were, because back in 1905, they installed water tanks here after 25, 30 years of carting water up from Bergen Creek. Interesting. If you know exactly what this is for, let me know. I'm at the back of the headmaster's house, just there. So this is the approximate location from where the students and the teachers used to go and collect water. Bergen Creek's just down there. It was a 90 metre, 100 yard walk from the schoolhouse to the creek. So from what I've worked out, going down that way is just over 100 metres, so it'll be 120 yards, 130 yards to the creek. And this way is the closest to 90 metres or 100 yards. And also found on a map back from the 1930s, an aerial shot of a little path walking that actually used to meander its way back down to the creek. So let's go and check that out. Okay, there is a bit of a path here, but this I don't think is the path. It's around about the location of where it was heading down. So I'm just going to keep continuing to follow this one. Some old fence posts. Interesting. So we're at Bergen Creek. I'm going to see if I can find any evidence of where they collected the water from. Fun fact, this creek, back when the school was operational here and they had no water tanks, they always were able to get water out of the creek. It was always either flowing or had water through here. It's an old water tank or something of like that. So about 20 metres that way is Bergen Creek.
3 years after the school closed down, the old school site became known as the Bunya Pines campsite for local scout groups.
Yeah, pretty cool place to have a hut actually. Creek's just there. Yeah, I feel like these were originally, this was a lavatory. This is an old camp oven. So that plaque was put there by the Baden Powell Association to do with the Scouts. You can see the concrete there, it's reasonably new. Our Scout Camp sign was just laying on the ground. The Scout Camp was here from 1968 to 1988. Just going to leave it like that so someone else can find it. Because yeah, that was just laying in the grass. Pretty sad really. Looks like I'm just in the middle of the woods somewhere, but this is the back half of the sporting oval. So I believe there was a cricket pitch here at some point in time. I'm going to see if I can find it. I doubt there's going to be any evidence of it here. But yeah, let's go and see if I can find it. Otherwise, we'll just move on. And there's heaps of other stuff that I've noticed I want to take a look at. So all in there was the old sporting oval with the cricket pitch somewhere. Somewhere. That's kind of in the middle of the oval down there. So I'll head down there and see if I can find it. Alright, I'm standing in the middle of the old Bunya School tennis court. So I believe it was 1934 the tennis court was built for the Bunya Tennis Club. The reason I know it's a tennis court, and this is the exact location, is it's a rectangle. I just found where the tennis net, the pole the tennis net was connected to. There's a bit of metal in there. Don't know what that's for. Going across here. That's really cool. See a bit of a cutout down there. Now, I don't know for sure, and maybe one of you could actually correct me, but the back of the tennis court here, that's the tennis court just there, I think this was the old play shed. From what I've been reading, this had a roof on it, but it was open. It was just like when you go to a picnic ground and they got like a covered seating area. Quartz country. The northeastern side of the property, I found these. It's a random brick. It's down in the creek here, and there's a little track that goes up here. So I'm going to follow this, see where this goes. Oh wow. This looks like an old chapel. Not too sure if this was from the school or this was scouts when the scout camp was here. I'm guessing it was more the scouts. There's concrete rests for the seats. So I'm thinking it was scouts. In the box there's some weird ornaments. Bottle. A Christmas tree. It's like a metal Christmas tree. Whatever that is. A bear or something. Just some other things. A bush chapel. How cool is that? When I was in the Scouts, a Sunday service was not uncommon. Really is a random place for a seat. Oh, not a seat. It was a bridge. That makes sense. The Scouts used it. They used to come down here and then go across the bridge up there to the chapel. It always fascinates me when I come across fallen trees like this, or trees that were cut down. Probably a better way to explain it. Makes you wonder why. Why did they fall? Why were they cut down? So I've just come to this location at the northeastern part of the property. It's a track. I'm going to go and check this out. So I'm noticing something else has been chopped down there. Another one's been chopped down there. That track, as much as it's a little bit overgrown, it's a very noticeable footpad down here. Was this a track down to Bergen Creek for the Scouts? Could be. Could be where the Scouts come down to the creek to splash about. I don't know if you can notice, but I keep seeing these compressions or indents into the ground down on the Bergen Creek side. It's hard to see, but this is another well-trafficked footpad for back in the day. It just feels nice and solid underfoot. There's a bit of an indent going up there. I'm going to see what's down here now. Out of all the things you expect to see on a school ground, there's a cone. It actually looks like one of the cones we used to have in school for PE. I really want to find this cricket pitch. I think I have less than Buckley's chance of finding it, but I'm down back on, I've just been following Bergen Creek around, but I'm going to head back towards the road now and see if I can come across it by using Apple Maps. See if it's like, just pinpoint me in the middle of the oval, and you never know. This is an old flagpole. I think you'll find it was from the Scouts. I don't know how it got over there, but there's the base of it. So back in the day, where I'm standing here, I would say, is where the leaders would stand, and the Scouts would be all gathered along here as their opening and closing ceremonies for their camps. I'm in the middle of the playing field, or roughly, give or take a little bit. So this is roughly where the cricket pitch I would have thought would be. I've obviously got no way of knowing. Bergen Creek is back there, probably about 30 metres ish, about 30 metres, and the road over there, or actually the schoolhouse, is probably about 30 or 40 metres too. So I would think that this is around about the location of where the cricket pitch would have been. So as you can see here, there's a bit of a compression, bit of a slope, embankment thing coming down here. That was the schoolhouse there, in that area there. That's the flagpole. But this compression slope thing coming down would have come down to the sporting oval, because they would have tried to flatten this out as much as they could. Obviously with the trees here now, it's built up in areas. So at the inaugural Arbor Day back in the 1890, the first Arbor Day they had, I believe there was 17 or 18 Moreton Bay figs planted. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, this looks like a Moreton Bay fig, just the way the branches all come out. It's obviously had a bit of a hard life. It's the only one I can find on the property that resembles a Moreton Bay fig. So if anyone knows what happened to the other 17, then let me know.
By the turn of the century, the Bunya area had also become a thriving fruit grower and dairy producing region. So, what happened? Once the bullock teams made their final deliveries to the Brisbane sawmills in 1934, and electricity was extended through Bunya in 1937, the farmers installed milking machinery and changed from cream supply to milk, with transport twice daily to the Brisbane milking factories. Then, in 1956, farmers installed refrigeration vats in their dairies, which decreased the milk transport needs to only once daily. By 1965, the student numbers had decreased so far that the school was closed for good, and all buildings dismantled the following year.
Well, there you have it. That's the old Bunya Pines Scout Camp and the Old Bunya School.